Once Moro and Cumber arrive on the planet, they release the criminals. The criminals scatter all around Earth, causing havoc. The humans would decide to split up to stop the criminals, and they are able to stop most of them, especially with them using Kaioken, but some of the criminals did have Cumber's Dark Ki, so they would decide to use that as their trump card. The battles were way more intense, but the humans were able to manage through defeating the criminals. The main battle will start to happen as 7-3 would fight Raditz and Piccolo, and everyone else is fighting Sagambo, which Sagambo would use Cumber's Dark Ki as Moro keeps filling him up with power. Everyone would power up to their fullest to stop these threats. 7-3 was able to copy Piccolo and Raditz's abilities, which means that he does have the ultimate form and Kaioken with infinite energy. 7-3 would use the ultimate form and body the two around. Raditz would power up into his Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker form, and Piccolo would transform into his ultimate Kaioken state. The two would decide to utilize their attacks just how Gohan and Piccolo did in canon. 7-3 would start to get overwhelmed by the two's teamwork, so once again he relies on Moro's copy ability before he can start draining the two. Help would arrive as 17, 18, and Broly does arrive to help. 17 and 18 would deal with 7-3 and they are easily able to defeat him, since Moro's absorption ability doesn't work on androids, and 17 is way stronger than canon since both him and Broly would spar whenever they had free time. Before they can finish off 7-3, a massive explosion happens, which was Sagambo. He was overfilled with Cumber's Dark Ki and Moro giving him power. It got to the point where his body couldn't handle the pressure. The pressure was so intense that his body just explodes. As the dust settled, both Moro and Cumber would show themselves. Moro would use his magic to teleport 7-3 to the ship, as both Moro and Cumber would stare down the group. Moro laughs, telling them that there'll be a lovely feast for him to devour, but both of the androids step up, telling him that they'll be his opponent. Moro simply laughs as he tries to use his energy exhaustion on them, but to Moro's shock, it doesn't work. Both the androids dashes at the Goat Man, and Moro would use his magic to defend himself. Cumber would say, "No matter how many people go against me, you all will die." Cumber powers up, charging towards the group. Everyone powers up to their fullest and they charge at Cumber. But with Cumber's massive power, he easily blows back Raditz, Orin, and Baby. As the rest still stand their ground, but they all get bodied by Cumber. The only person who is close to give Cumber a challenge is Broly, but Cumber would tell Broly that such power you have there, I feel like you'll be a very useful for me. Broly is confused as Cumber would surround himself with Dark Ki. Broly tries to punch him, but the Dark Ki would start to surround Broly and it starts to control him. Broly tries his best to stop this from happening, but it's useless as his pupils would disappear and his green aura surrounded in Dark Ki. Cumber would tell Broly to kill the others, and Broly would rush at them with everyone being shocked to see this, and they try to talk to him, but it's useless as he attacks them. They all try their best to defend themselves, but Broly is just too strong. He sends a devastating attack on Gohan and Piccolo, which makes them out of commission for a bit. He charges towards Baby. Before Baby could do anything, he grabs his tail and slams him on the ground over and over again. Once he is finished, he throws Baby to a mountain, and as he looks forwards, he looks towards the last people standing, which was Orin and Raditz. Even though they know they can't stop Broly, they won't go down without a fight. They get ready to charge towards Broly as Broly does the same, but someone teleports in front of them. This is of course Vegeta. He sees all the havoc that happened, and Raditz would explain to Vegeta that Broly is being controlled by Cumber's Ki. Vegeta would quickly know what he has to do as Broly instantly charges at Vegeta. Vegeta was able to dodge Broly's attacks as he punches him. Broly of course didn't felt no damage, but all of Cumber's Ki does get removed from Broly. Vegeta would have used Spirit Vision to remove all of the Dark Ki from Broly. Broly is confused on what happened, but Vegeta tells him to stay out of this fight and to check on others. Broly listens as he flies away, taking Raditz and Orin with him. Cumber smiles as he gets to meet Vegeta again. Vegeta wouldn't hold back as he transformed into UI Omen. The both of them would start to clash, but Cumber would still have the massive power advantage, so he easily beat Vegeta around. Vegeta knows that if he doesn't go full power from the start, he'll definitely lose, so Vegeta would go into Mastered Ultra Instinct, and the fight would seem to go into more Vegeta's side. Cumber would notice this and he starts to get more angry. He uses more of his power, and this pushes back Vegeta. Vegeta knows that if he doesn't get this fight over with, he'll definitely lose. The battle keeps going on, and eventually Goku would arrive as he sees everything, and he would decide to go fight Moro. He tells the androids that he got this, and the androids would back off to let Goku fight Moro. Now before we get into this fight, I already know someone is going to say, how can the androids last that long against Moro? Well, I think that maybe 18 might get pushed back, but 17 is a lot stronger than Canon, since he trained with Broly, and in Canon he was already around blue level Goku. So having a training partner such as Broly for many years, this would make him incredibly stronger. Anyways, Goku would go into UI Omen and would fight Moro. He would see that UI Omen is pretty much useless against the GOAT. So he would go into Mastered Ultra Instinct, and he easily bodies Moro. It isn't even a fight, it's just a massive beatdown. Moro would get mad at this, so he would decide to use Cumber's Dark Ki. And even though this did make Moro a lot stronger, Goku still had the superior strength and speed, so he folds Moro. Moro would get pissed as he flies away, heading towards his ship. Goku is confused on what Moro is doing, but he just allows him, since Goku isn't the type of person to attack a guy who is fleeing. Once Moro makes it towards the ship, he devours 7-3. He would start to morph into his Moro 7-3 state. He teleports back down to where Goku is, and Goku is surprised to see him. He asks him what happened to him, and Moro simply says how he evolved into the Ultimate Warrior. Goku charges in for an attack as Moro does the same. But just like always, Goku is just too strong. As he beats down on Moro, Goku would tell Moro to give up. Moro stares down at Goku in disgust. Moro would scream, saying he's the strongest person in the universe, and he shall never be defeated. As Moro screams, he powers up into the ultimate form and would stack Kaioken on top of Cumber's Dark Ki. Goku looks in shock as the whole planet is shaking because of Moro's power. Moro charges at Goku at full speeds, as Goku does the same. Vegeta and Cumber are basically even, but Vegeta doesn't know how he can defeat Cumber. He can't stay in the Mastered Ultra Instinct form for very long, and it seems like Cumber doesn't even look exhausted. Cumber laughs at Vegeta, noticing that he is getting tired out, and eventually he'll win this battle. Vegeta starts to get angry, and he lets his emotions get to him. As he starts to lose Mastered Ultra Instinct, he tries to calm down and stay focused, but it's too late as he de-transforms into UI Omen. Vegeta curses at himself for letting his emotions getting the better of him, but that's when Vegeta just thought of it. He can use his emotions in UI Omen. Cumber laughs as he raises his hand ready to kill Vegeta, but Vegeta would tell him, "You're a Saiyan too." But I guess I have to remind you to never underestimate another Saiyan. Vegeta powers up as he goes into a similar state to true Ultra Instinct. Cumber would tell him to bring it on. Both battles are intense with nobody giving up, but our heroes are starting to get exhausted. Both Cumber and Moro would slowly start to get the advantage.
Even if the odds are against us, every breath in my body will be spent trying!
Kakarot is right! I'll knock you out and win this! Yeah!
The battles are fought long and hard. They fly all around Earth as everyone can feel their power all across the universe. But Moro and Cumber would both knock Vegeta and Goku down to the ground. With both of them going back to base form, Moro and Cumber would raise their hands as they would charge a massive blast ready to kill the Saiyans. Before they can send the blast down, they both get kicked. They easily recover from this, and they would see 3 Saiyans. These Saiyans were Yamoshi, Shallot, and Giblet, and another guy would take Goku and Vegeta away, with this being Mirrors. Moro is angry that these guys got in the way of their kill, but for Cumber, he's in disbelief to see Yamoshi. He thought that Yamoshi was supposed to be dead by now. Yamoshi simply said, yes, he did die, but he was brought back to the living world. Just to make this more clear, Whis did bring back Yamoshi, Shallot, and Giblet because they wanted to stop Cumber again. So of course, Beerus would argue at this a little, but he is promised and fights, so he allows them. Yamoshi would decide to fight Cumber alone as the twins would fight Moro. The twins stare down Moro as they both would power up, Shallot having a calm white aura surrounding him, and Giblet having an intense dark purple aura around him. The two would power up into their Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego forms. Moro is shocked to see another person with Ultra Instinct and a guy with the power of the god. The twins charges at Moro, with Moro doing the same. As the twins attack Moro, Moro would be getting pushed back due to the twins having perfect synergy. Moro would send a double Sunday at the two, with Shallot dodging it and Giblet just tanking the attack. But Moro takes this opportunity to stretch his arm, grabbing Giblet's neck. Moro would start to transform as his fur would change into a dark purplish color. He would feel his power rising as he fully copied Giblet's abilities. Moro would send flurry of attacks at the brothers, and Shallot is able to dodge all of them, but Giblet just tanks him. He grabs Moro's hand and would punch him straight in the face. Moro would tank the attack just like Giblet did. But Moro would use his other hand to send a blast, but Shallot would grab onto that hand. The two brothers would rip his hands clean off. They would take this chance to start doing damage, but Moro would simply regenerate his hands. He decides to use his magic abilities as he starts draining Giblet's power, but for Shallot he was just too fast. Giblet would notice that his power was being drained and told Shallot that they must finish this battle quickly. Shallot nods as he charges at Moro and attacks him, but with the power of Ultra Ego, Cumber's Ki, and Kyle Kid, Moro is growing at a fast pace, even faster than Giblet. Moro would attack Shallot, but Shallot is able to perfectly dodge all of Moro's attacks. But during the fight, he notices that Moro's body is becoming more unstable. As his fist and his entire body is starting to grow, it gets to the point where Moro can barely even stand. Shallot sees his opportunity as he uses God Bind to lift up Moro and send him flying up in the air. He screams at Giblet to do it now, with Giblet having a massive Hakai ball. He throws it up at Moro. Moro would see this, but his body is too unstable to do anything. As the ball connects to Moro, he tries eating the energy, but it's hopeless as he is completely disintegrated. Giblet and Shallot celebrate as they both would fall on the ground exhausted. Yamoshi would be destroying Cumber in his Super Saiyan God form. Cumber would scream that he can't lose and he won't lose. Cumber screams as he powers up to a Super Saiyan, and Yamoshi shocked to see that Cumber could transform into a Super Saiyan. Cumber charges at Yamoshi and the two would begin a clash, and Yamoshi is slowly losing ground. Yamoshi decides to stop playing around. He powers up as the entire universe, nearly every universe can feel Yamoshi's power. Yamoshi's aura would get darker and his hair would also get darker. Beerus can feel the tremendous force and is surprised. Cumber would look at Yamoshi as he is in his true Super Saiyan God form. Cumber's whole body would begin shaking in fear, and Cumber would be shocked on how his body is reacting. He screams that he can't be afraid of a weakling. He charges at Yamoshi, but in an instant, Yamoshi would send multiple blows on Cumber. Blood would start to come out of Cumber's mask as Cumber would fall on his knees. Yamoshi just looks down at him. Cumber, just give up. There is no chance you can beat me. Just turn yourself into the Galactic Patrol so we can just get this over with. Or would you prefer me to send you to the afterlife? You? Kill me? Don't make me laugh. Cumber would shoot up a ki blast into the air as he says bursts open and mix. Yamoshi would quickly look away as Shallot and Giblet would do the same. Cumber would start to transform into a golden great ape. He tries attacking Yamoshi, but Yamoshi simply blitz around Cumber, and he attacks him from everywhere. Cumber would fly up to the air. He would charge up a mouth blast, saying that if he can't defeat Yamoshi, he'll just blow up the planet. But Yamoshi wouldn't allow this to happen as he kicks the giant great ape in his gut, and he just gets rid of the fake moon. Cumber would shrink as he is down back to his base form, bloody up on the ground. Turn yourself in. You have no chance. I would never go back to that prison. Cumber punches at Yamoshi in the gut, but as soon as it makes contact, his hand snaps. I gave you a chance, and now this is the end for you. Yamoshi would grab Cumber, throwing him up in the air, and he would send his Super Saiyan God Wild Cannon Flash as Cumber is consumed into the blast and is disintegrated. Everyone would celebrate on the defeat of Moro and Cumber, but we move into the Granola arc, if there was a Granola arc. What I mean by this is when Bardock fought Gas, he is able to achieve the Super Saiyan form for the first time, and this is overkill as Bardock is able to slam Gas around and kill him. Before the other Heaters can escape, Bardock would also get rid of them. So yeah, the Heaters would already be dead, and the Cerealians are brought back to life with Minato's Dragon Balls, and they would move their planet to somewhere else just like Namek did. But with all of that, that's the end of this series. Now you may be wondering where is Superhero, but Superhero will be a bonus part. So if you're excited to see that, just remember to hit the subscribe button on both me and JokerTube's channel. But with all of that being said, I'll see you guys in the next What If. See you.